Project 1065, Chapter 92, For the Glory of Old Ireland. A brown suitcase dipped below the edge of the roof. I could see it through the window. Fritz's head peeked through the window upside down. He saw me, saw Professor Goldsmith, and then he and the suitcase disappeared again. Fritz was on the roof of the cable car, and he had the suitcase bomb. He had waited for us. He knew I'd go for Professor Goldsmith and try to get him out of the resort. Fritz had waited for us on top of the cable car station, watched us get on board, separated us from the others so he could kill us. Professor Goldsmith stood and went to the window, trying to see up top. "What's going on? Who is that boy?" He's one of the ones sent to kill you," I said. I closed my eyes and fought up my nausea. I wish Goldsmith would sit down. He was making the cabin rock. "His name is Fritz. He has a bomb." "A bomb? But if he blows us up, he'll die too." "He doesn't care," I told him. "He was born to die for Germany." I said it sarcastically, but I realized suddenly that it was true. Fritz believed all that stuff about sacrificing himself to the fatherland. For Hitler. He would do it. He would fulfill the Hitler Youth motto, live faithfully, fight bravely, and die laughing. Goldsmith fretted around the cabin like a caged chicken. "But we're trapped in here. It's a 40-minute ride to the bottom." And the bomb had a 15-minute timer. I knew the score. We were in trouble. We were going to die. "We have to get up there," Goldsmith said. "We have to stop him. He'll blow us all up." I nodded. He was right, but I couldn't be the one to do it. Goldsmith didn't wait for me to help him. He tried the doors first, but they were locked tight, of course. They didn't want anyone accidentally opening them and falling to their death. He tried the window next, managed to get one of them open, but he did all this while I lay curled around one of the poles in the middle of the cabin, fighting desperately not to black out. "I opened a window, but I can't fit," Goldsmith said. "You could, though." I would have laughed if I wasn't afraid I was going to throw up. "I'll fall. I'll die," I told him. "Young man, listen to me," Goldsmith said. "He has a bomb, and if he's as crazy as you say he is, he'll use it. One way or another, you're going to die. We both are. Wouldn't you rather die fighting?" "I'm such a good driver, I stay as far away from cliffs as I can," I told him, remembering my joke. Goldsmith didn't understand, but I knew Simon would, and I also knew Simon would be telling me to get up to confront my fear. Simon had died fighting, rather than be led quietly to his death, and he'd want me to do the same. I pulled myself up the pole to my knees. I kept my eyes on the floor. "Did you hear the one about the Englishman, the Irishman, the Scotsman, and the Welshman who were riding in a hot air balloon?" No, Goldsmith said. "Is this really time for jokes?" I pulled myself to my feet. "The balloon was about to crash into a mountain," I went on. "So the pilot says to them, 'We need to lose more weight to get clear. One of you has to jump.' I took a step across the cabin, going from one pole to the other. So the Scotsman says, 'I do this for the glory of Scotland,' and he jumps out of the basket. I let go of the pole and grabbed hold of the window. Goldsmith was right. It was just big enough for me to climb through. Outside, a white and brown mountain peak sailed by. The tram rumbled as it went over one of the pylons that supported the cable, and I swallowed hard. But the balloon wasn't high enough yet. 'We need to lose more weight,' the pilot says. So the Welshman says, 'I do this for the glory of Wales,' and jumps out of the balloon to his death. I don't understand how any of this," Goldsmith started to say, but I held up a hand to quiet him. I steadied my breathing and stepped onto the bench below the window. "We need to lose the weight of just one more person, and we'll make it," the pilot says. I reached outside the window. Felt the cold mountain air humming by. Found a ledge on the roof to pull myself up on. So the Irishman says, he says, "I do this for the glory of old Ireland," and he picks up the Englishman and throws him over the side. I looked back at Goldsmith. He was frowning, as though he didn't understand. "For the glory of old Ireland," I said, and I hauled myself up and out the window.